Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. Today's comes to you from Arthur Schopenhauer, who said, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." Ooh, I love that one. Because, hey, it's always your aim to hit the target, right? Whether that's in the workplace, you want to be the best target hitter around, right? Because you want to advance a little bit. Maybe climb up that corporate ladder, make the bigger paycheck, have a little more responsibility, or maybe that's not you at all. Maybe you're like, you know what? I want to hit the targets where I am comfortable. I love where I'm at right now. I don't want to advance anymore. I just want to keep hitting this target over and over again. You know what? I don't think there's any shame in that at all. And hitting the target is so important in every aspect of our lives. But what if you could hit a target nobody else could see? Wow, they might think you're kind of weird for a second, but once they realize you're on a whole other level, oh my. It's amazing how they'll be inspired that, hey, I didn't even know that was there. And how did you do that? And then you get people asking you about advice. Hey, how can I do that? How did you see that? What made you know that it was even there? And it's just an amazing opportunity for you to share with them a little bit of the process that went into finding the target in the first place and hitting it right in the bullseye. I know, it's one of those things. But if we ask God for it, for wisdom, for knowledge on how to handle things, how to hit the target nobody else can see, guess what? I really believe he's going to show us how. And it's going to be not for our glory, but let's make it for his glory, because he's the one who's helping us through it the whole time. So, a little reminder for you, when you do hit that milestone, when you do hit that target, give God the glory for it, because he helped make that possible. Okay? And as you do that, guess what happens? Other people get to see you living your faith out loud. What does that do? Well, it makes them a little inquisitive, and inquiring minds want to know. They'll start asking you, what's different about you? And then you have an opportunity to share Jesus with them. It doesn't get better than that. So be encouraged today. Be inspired to hit that target nobody else can see. And it's okay if they look at you like you're weird, like you're strange. Because, hey, we are called to be a peculiar people, right? Yeah. Here's Torrin Wells. Take it all back.
Fears got me living with the lights out, chained down like a prisoner in my own house. Shame cycles like a deadly medication. I try, but I can't change my situation.
Sometimes I think about the different characters I play in everybody's story. I'm a terrible person in some people's narratives, and heaven sent in others. And none of it has anything to do with the person I truly am. The lens that others view you through is colored by their upbringing, beliefs, and individual experiences. Some people see your bright personality as endearing, and others see it as annoying. Some people think you're weak and emotional, and others feel safe to be themselves around you. Some people think you're rude and selfish, and others respect the way you stand up for yourself. Some people admire the way you take pride in the way you look, and others think you're conceited. And none of it has to do with who you truly are as a person. What you have to understand is that you have no authority over how people view you, so never try to control the way others see you, because the only thing that truly matters when the dust settles down at the end of the day is what you genuinely see in yourself. Wow. Hey, I hope you can take that like I took it. I hope you can own your personality, and that you're not going to keep changing yourself to fit somebody else's mold. God only made one of you, so be the best one you can be, okay? And thanks for being here. I'm so glad we can do life together. I got some weather and word of life coming up next. Now, let me share with you your word of life. It's from Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 and 24 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. And this is what it says. Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you are serving is Christ. Wow, there's something about the wording of that particular scripture that lends you to think that maybe there's a little context you need to put it in, because it uses the word master, and whatever you do, working as for the Lord rather than for people, the Lord will give you an inheritance. Well, why is it worded that way? Well, you see, that's a beautiful thing about your word of life. Sometimes you got to dig in a little deeper to put it in context. So again, it's Colossians 3:23 and 24 in the New Living Translation of the Bible, but I want to back it up to verse 22 and read the whole thing for you. Okay? All right, here we go. This is why it's written the way it is. This is how it starts. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything you do. Try to please them all the time, not just when they're watching you. Serve them sincerely because of your reverent fear of the Lord. Then comes a word of life. Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you're serving is Christ. But if you do what is wrong, you'll be paid back for the wrong you have done, for God has no favorites. Wow, there's something about that verse. See, it says even when you're under the oppression of slavery, still work as unto the Lord, because God is going to reward you for it. Wow. That kind of puts it in more perspective. It has a little more meaning when you put that context in it, right? So, hey, that's a challenge that I have for you and for myself. Don't just take a scripture as a one-off one-liner, because there are verses before and after most of these, and they'll put it in context for you. So I hope I did it justice. If you would, share that word of life with somebody and tell them what it means to you. Maybe do what I just did and explain to them, hey, this is a word of life, but here's how it's written, and here's the situation, and you can really speak to what it means. So we've got it for you to start that conversation across all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. How about some Tarian? Honestly, we just need Jesus.
I got a front row seat to the madness. I pick up my phone every morning out of habit.
You better believe there was a whole lot of prayer going up over these past 17 days in France during the Olympics. A lot of these athletes just poised. They're ready to do what they do, right? They're trying to take home gold. Quite a lot of gold was won in silver and bronze, but you know what? There's something about the character of these athletes that really speaks to just how good they are. I want you to stick around, and I think you'll be encouraged by one particular Olympian. We're going to talk about how she embraces her faith, and it's quite refreshing. So stick around. We'll get into it next, right after Big Daddy Weave and Just the Way I Am, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM.
Unbelievable, I'm blown away, it's true, by the matchless love that I found in you.
Ryan Mann with NPR. Sydney, this is for you, and I apologize. I'm not sure that I heard you correctly in the mix zone. It was really loud. But did you speak to your faith there and the role of faith in your competition? And if I just completely misunderstood you, then I apologize.
Yeah, no, I mean, I credit all that I do to God. He's given me a gift. He's given me a drive to just want to continue to improve upon myself, and I have a platform, and I want to use it to glorify Him. And so whenever I step on the track, it's always the prayer of God, let me be the vessel in which you're glorified, whatever the result is, how I conduct myself, how I carry myself, not just how I perform. And so it's just freedom in knowing that regardless of what happens, He's going to get the praise through me. And yeah, that's why I do what I do.
Sydney McLaughlin, she just, oh my, took home gold. 400-meter hurdles. And I'm taking a look at the picture of her crossing that finish line. And guess what? There's nobody else in the picture. It's just her. She was ahead by that much. And she's keeping her faith at the forefront. She's living it out loud. And you know what? I just wanted to pass that along to you. Because, hey, yes, there is room for faith in competition. Does it mean you're going to win all the time? Not necessarily, but it depends on what your prayer is. What are you asking God for, right? Because it makes a big difference. The Bible tells me that if we're asking God, we'll receive what we ask for if we're within His will, right? He wants to give us the desires of our heart. And it sounds like she's kind of putting everything in perspective. She's putting her priorities where they need to be. It's funny because some people, they want to ask God to just give them the victory over everybody else. Well, how many other people you think are praying that prayer to let me win, that kind of thing? But I don't think that's what the prayer has to be. I think what the prayer has to be is, God, use me for your glory. However you want this to turn out, let it be. And let me be an amazing part of it. It's not about the winning. It's all about the being here, the competing, and having that winning character that says, you know what, win, lose, or draw, I'm still happy to be here, and I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to be the best example for you that I can be. So I think that she is a very inspiring 25-year-old, as actually she just turned 25. It was the day before she won the gold in the 400-meter hurdles. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about her. Again, her name is Sydney McLaughlin Levrone. So if you want to find her, you go Google her. You can see that particular video that I played for you over on Twitter or X. Got a lot of kids in the car headed to school right now. And did you know that your pencil has amazing power? How much power does your pencil have? Well, stick around. I'll let you know about it. This is going to be good.
Been walking to a city I cannot see, through the depths of the valley where the sun can't reach. I've been high, I've been low, I've been looking for the river that could fill my soul. Been walking to a city I cannot see.
So the school year has started and everybody's rip-roaring and ready to go, right? I know. A lot of people were like, no, I don't want to go back to school yet. Please. I need 5 more days. 1 more week. Yeah, I got you. I was right there with you when I was a kid too. But we didn't have to go back until usually around my birthday, which is right around Labor Day. So I'm sorry you're having to go back to school so early. But you do have more time out during the year than I did when I was a kid. So there's that. But you know what? There are some kids really getting excited because they have awesome teachers. Yeah. And there's one guy who's really making a difference in his school. His name is Mr. Bussey. Mr. Bussey is he's in English. So it's all about reading and writing. And he wanted to focus on writing this particular day. I think he'll motivate you because there's a little something you might not know about your pencil. You want to learn more? All right. Take a listen to this. This is how he started it off.
Pencil's ready. This is my pencil.
This is my pencil.
There are many like it.
There are many like it.
But this is my pencil.
But this is my pencil.
My pencil.
My pencil.
Is my best friend.
Is my best friend.
Without me.
Without me.
My pencil.
My pencil.
Is useless.
It's useless.
Without my pencil.
Without my pencil.
I know. That when I write.
That when I write.
I can inform.
I can inform.
I can inspire.
I can inspire.
I can change the world.
I can change the world.
This is my pencil.
This is my pencil.
There are many like it.
There are many like
But
it.
this one is mine.
But this is mine.
Ready. Pencil's ready. Go.
Wow. What motivation. This is my pencil. Hey, I'm getting ready to play a car line competition. Are you getting ready too? I sure hope so. Stick around. We'll find out if you can win. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now go ahead and let's crank that engine and then let's start that music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. Your opportunity to call in and play my game and possibly win 3 gift cards, 1 to keep, 2 to give away. So it all depends on whether you know the answer to my question. So let's get this thing started, shall we? Here's the first question of today's car line competition. Billings is the largest city in which U.S. state that derives its name from the Spanish for mountains? Is it A, Oregon, B, Washington, C, Maine, or D, Montana? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, Billings is the largest city in which U.S. state that derives its name from the Spanish for mountains? Is it A, Oregon, B, Washington, C, Maine, or D, Montana? 256-505-0885. 0885 is the number to call, and I'm waiting on your call right now. You could be taking home 3 gift cards. 1 to keep, 2 to give away. 256-505-0885. Here's Jeremy Camp while I wait on your call with These Days. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, Richard Udi?
I figure I'll give that question a shot. I don't know if I'll give it right.
All right, well, we'll give it the good old college try. So here we go. Billings is the largest city in which U.S. state that derives its name from the Spanish for mountain. Is it Oregon, Washington, Maine, or Montana?
I don't know if I'm right. I'm going to say Oregon.
Oregon? Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. But you know, I like giving a second shot. So is it Washington, Maine, or Montana?
Well, I may not be right again, but I'm going to say Montana.
Montana is correct, sir. Yes, that's it. 3 gift cards. Billings, Montana is the correct answer. So that's 3 gift cards, 1 to keep, 2 to give away. What are we doing with them?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass them on and just give somebody another blessing.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I can hear that train in the background that you just got rolling. Man, thanks for calling in.
Yep. Thank you, and you have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
How cool is that? Yeah, Richard already getting that train rolling. That means it turns into not 3, but 6 gift cards. Do you have what it takes to win 6 gift cards? Well, we are about to find out because I got another question for you right here. Let's go. What is the collective noun for cobras? So a group of cobras is called what? Is it A, a quiver, B, a gam, C, a skulk, or D, a bevy of cobras? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, what's the collective noun for cobras? So a group of cobras is called what? Is it A, quiver, B, gam, C, skulk, or D, bevy? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now. In the meantime, how about some Forrest Frank with Good Day?
I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise.
88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Who am I talking to?
Lake and Floyd.
All right. So, what are we thinking about the school year?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. What grade are we in now?
9th grade.
9th grade. Oh, man. Woo, the beginning of high school. All right. So, hey, things have changed since I was in 9th grade. Do you still have lockers or is everything on a computer now?
Everything's on a computer.
I gotcha. All right, then. So, at least you don't have to lug around a heavy backpack with all kinds of books in it. If everything's on a computer, it's a little lighter, I guess. What are you looking forward to the most about this year?
Our PE class.
All right, cool. PE, what's your favorite thing to do in there?
We go weight room.
Aha. How much can you bench press?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you're going to find out, and you're going to try to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Man, you're going to get bulked. I know it. So, all right, I got a question for you. Got this little thing right here called the Carline competition, and you can win 6 gift cards if you know the answer to my question. So here we go. What is the collective noun for cobras? So a group of cobras is called what? A quiver, a gam, a skulk, or a bevy?
A quiver.
A quiver of cobras is correct. Congratulations to you. 6 gift cards. What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool too. It's a lot of love you can share with a lot of people. So you want to tell me about 2 of those special people that's going to be getting a gift card from you?
My dad and my mom.
Oh, shouting out the family. All right. So who's in the car with you now?
My dad.
Your dad. Okay, so tell me something special about mom first.
She's always there.
Always there. I got you. Something special about mom. She's just mom. And now tell me something special about your dad. Now remember, he's listening, so you got to really cheese it up a little bit. You got to lay it on thick. Ready? Go for it.
Put me on the spot. He gives me a lot of money.
What do you do with said money?
Blow it.
At least you're truthful. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for calling me today. You blow it. Man, I think that's awesome. All right. Have I heard from you before, or is this your first time?
It's my first time.
It is. Oh, man. Thank you so much for calling me. What's taking you so long to call? Were you always nervous?
I don't know. My sister always listens to it while I'm in the car.
Okay.
I
Nice.
decided to.
Lakin, thank you so much for calling me. And I hope I can hear again from you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great one. Bye. Lakin Floyd, thanks again for calling me. He gives me a lot of money, and I blow it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, you know what? I've got one more opportunity here for somebody to win some gift cards on the Carline competition. Is it going to be you? Well, we're about to find out because I've got a fresh question for you. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Which word can mean bovine meat or a feud? Is it A, cow, B, bash, C, beef, or D, pork? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, which word can mean bovine meat or a feud? Is it A, cow, B, bash, C, beef, or D, pork? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. And while I wait on your call, I'll play you a song. Here's Consumed by Fire. Walk with Jesus. 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Are you going to win?
So many people trying to fill a void inside. So many questions, asking how, asking why.
Well, a big good morning to all of you listening this morning, no matter how you're listening. Maybe it's on the FM dial. Thank you. Maybe it's on the podcast. Thank you. And maybe it's on the streaming map. At least that's what I'm looking at right now to see where you're streaming from. I'm seeing pins in Helsinki, Finland across the pond. We got Reno County, Kansas hanging out. We got Wheezy up in Michigan. She's with us this morning. And we've got New Hope. Let's see, Scottsboro. No, we've got, is that you all the way down there in Notasulga? It sure is. Thank you for being here. Plus, we got Gunnersville, Albertville, and Arab on board. So thank you all for listening. And guess what? You're a part of our story that we're about to be celebrating of 29 years right here in North Alabama. Yeah, so thanks for being here. All right, now we are finishing up the Carline competition. I got a last answer for that last question, and I want to play it for you right now. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name?
It's the Crazy Hat Girl.
Oh, it's the Crazy Hat Girl. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good, all right. Well, now, have you started back to school yet?
Yeah.
You have.
I'm heading to school right now.
Oh, really? Cool. Okay. So let me go ahead and get this question out the way so you can get out the car. Here we go. Which word can mean bovine meat or a feud? Is it a cow? Is it bash? Is it beef? Or is it pork?
Beef.
Beef. It's what's for dinner. That's exactly right. Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
It's good.
I think it's good too. Who are you going to share them with?
Probably my classmates.
Oh, which ones in particular?
Probably Lincoln. He's new at my school, so.
Cool.
And then to my teacher.
Aw, look at you, sharing the love with the classmate and with the teacher. I think that is awesome. That's good stuff. It's a great way to get your school year started off. So remind me, what grade are we in now?
5th.
5th grade. All right, and we're loving it so far?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, sounds great. Gracie Mae Puckett just won the Carline competition. I think it's awesome. And hey, if you're wondering why she's calling herself the Crazy Cat Girl, oh my gosh, the Crazy Hat Girl, not cats, it's hats. It's because she had a crazy hat day at school a while back. In fact, it was back on May 4th of 2023, and I actually shared a picture over on the 88.5 JFM Facebook page. So if you want to go over there and check out her crazy hat, you totally can. So Gracie Mae, thanks again for calling. And that brings us to the end of today's Carline competition. But don't worry, we've got another opportunity coming up tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Plus, this morning at 8, somebody's going to have to riddle me this to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the water park of your choice. Yeah, we're talking about either Point Mallard in Decatur or Alabama Adventure Splash Adventure in Bessemer. You'll have to riddle me this. And don't worry, if it's too hard of a riddle, I am your phone a friend. So there's that. It's coming up at 8 o'clock. So be here for that as well. All right, more great music headed your way. How about Stars Go Dim with Yes He Does right here, right now on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM. Making your day better. So glad to have some fun with you this morning.
Have you the first called you by name.
It would be awesome. It would impact so many people. It would just be a complete blessing. That thing you've been thinking about doing for a while now, that you just haven't taken action yet. What are you waiting on? If you need a little encouragement or even a little permission, stick around. I got it next.
I've had $1 to my name. I've had friends that walked away. And I've even lost myself a time or two. There were bridges crossed and burned.
Psst. What kind of permission do you need? To do the thing that you and I both know you really want to do? The thing that not everyone is going to approve of, but you know you're meant to do? What kind of permission do you need to get up and get after it? Yes, there's some risk, mostly just a bruised ego, but you know what's a lot worse than that? Living with the regret of inaction. Knowing the thing that you need to do, the scary steps that you have to take to grow into the person that you know you want to be, and doing nothing. So if you need it, this is your permission slip. Go do what you need to do.
I love it, because so many times we have this idea, we have this ambition, this desire God has placed in our heart, something that's going to be great, not only for ourselves, but especially for other people. It'll minister to their lives, it'll make their lives better, and we just kind of sit back and we're waiting for just the right time. Sometimes I'm afraid that we sell ourselves short because God has already placed within us that dream, and if we start moving, well, He'll start meeting us with the resources necessary, with the connections necessary. So I just wanted Quinlan to give you that little piece of advice this morning because I think you needed to hear it. Do the thing. Stop thinking about it and start doing it. And ask God to be all over it and watch what He does. I think some big things are in store for you. No, I know they are. So do it, okay? All right. Thanks for being here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Checking those temperatures across North Alabama, seeing if I can play my favorite sound effect. I've been waiting patiently this morning. Let's see, 67 right now in Scottsboro. Ooh, 68 in Bluentsville, 69 in Coleman, 69 in Albertville, 69 in Huntsville, and right here in Gunnersville, we just happen to be, oh yes, kissing that 71-degree mark. So warming up very slowly out there, and I think that is awesome because I've had enough of this heat. It's nice to have some cool out there. You enjoying it too? I sure hope so. Hey, thanks so much for being right here with me on the Lifeline Morning Show. I want to pass along a little information to you. I don't know if you've heard about this, but I want to get the word out. Tessa up in Arab, they're going to be having a back-to-school party this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. They're going to have bouncy houses, games, gospel illusion, some food, and maybe a little kids' music. Yep, it's all going down from 10 until 2 this Saturday at Tessa. That's up in Arab. It's 242 South Main Street in Arab, and it's absolutely free to attend. Not a single bit of money has to be spent. So I just wanted to make sure you knew you could take your kids, have a good time at Tessa this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All right, let me get back to the music now. What song we want to play? How about some Taya and All About Jesus right here, right now on the Lifeline Morning Show.
When they ask me for my testimony, I'm gonna tell them.
I sure hope you're ready to win some water park passes because your opportunity is coming up shortly. You'll have to riddle me this, but are you going to be going to Point Mallard or to, Alabama Adventure? We'll find out soon.
Wouldn't it be great if there was an answer, a quench for the heart, a cure for cancer, holding us close like a tiny dancer, with plenty of love for everyone.
Well, summer break might be over for most of you, but summer is not over until Sunday, September 22nd, which means that we have an opportunity now to still enjoy some summer. And to help you do that, we here at the station thought, hey, we would maybe give you a chance to win some water park passes. Not just a couple of passes. No, we would take the whole family. So 4 passes to either Point Mallard or to Alabama Adventure, Splash Adventure are up for grabs if you can riddle me this. Now, keep in mind, if you've already won the passes this season, you can't win them again. Also, keep this in mind. If you think the riddle's too hard, I am your phone a friend. So there's that going for you. Ready for this? Here we go. I make a loud sound when I'm changing. When I do change, I get bigger but weigh less. What am I? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, I make a loud sound when I'm changing. When I do change, I get bigger but weigh less. What am I? 256-505-0885. Riddle me this, and you could be going to the water park of your choice. You and 3 family members or friends or however you want to do it. There is my caller. Let me go capture that call. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Hey,
Who am I talking to?
this is Brooke. How are you, sir?
All right, Brooke, I'm doing okay. I can't complain. I'm very curious as to whether you know the answer to my little riddle here because, part of this, I didn't know. I learned something new today when getting ready for this. So here we go. The question I have for you is, I make a loud sound when I'm changing. When I do change, I get bigger but way less. What am I?
So, my first thought was a butterfly.
A
But I've never heard a butterfly change from a caterpillar.
This is true. So they don't make a loud sound. By the way, where did they ever come up with the word butterfly?
No idea.
Isn't it backwards? It should be flutterby because they flutter by, right?
My daughter called them that for a little while. I think you're right.
How cute is that? Very good. So, all right, let me give you a hint. This particular thing you will enjoy at the theater.
At the theater. Oh, popcorn kernels.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's the most expensive thing they got there, too, it seems.
Right?
Yeah, they got to make money somehow, I guess. My goodness.
Exactly.
What's your favorite thing to put on your popcorn?
Well, I go back to the butter machine several times, and then I also add the popcorn salt from the theater because there's just nothing better than that.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Some people have this little hack where they take a straw and they put it up on the nozzle of the butter machine and they poke it down into the popcorn so they can get layers of butter all throughout.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to have to use that next time.
Yes, it's going to be even better next time. Well, congratulations to you. You just won 4 water park passes to the water park of your choice. Yeah. So would you like to go to Point Mallard in Decatur, or would you like to go to Alabama Adventure Splash Adventure in Bessemer?
Let's go Point Mallard.
Point Mallard. We can do that. All right. When's the last time you went to Point Mallard?
It's been at least 10 years for sure.
Wow. A lot of things have changed. I think you're going to
Too
enjoy
long.
it. Yeah? Brooke, one last question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why do you listen to us?
Well, because you play the best music, and I love your conversation. Anybody talking about Jesus is my kind of people, sir.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Brooke, you're the reason why we're here. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
How cool is that? Headed to Point Mallard, a family 4-pack of tickets. It's going to be fun. You know what else is fun? I just looked up Brooke over on Facebook, and I see that she's got a little girl riding a bicycle without any training wheels, wearing her unicorn helmet. How cool is that? I know that little girl is going to be enjoying some Point Mallard. That's some good stuff right there. Oh, making some memories that'll last a lifetime. It's good stuff. I still remember going to Point Mallard when I was a kid. Oh, I used to love it. We never wore enough sunscreen, though, so I was always blistered afterwards. But that was just part of the experience. Hey, thanks so much for being here. And hey, we'll play again tomorrow for some more water park passes. And of course, we'll have the car line competition as well. But we still got today left. How much time we got? What, an hour and 45 minutes or so? Yeah, right around there. So be prepared to have a blast. Got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We're still picking apart that Brandon Lake song. I think you're going to really enjoy that. But been getting some help on that. Of course, we've got Brian Trent coming up at 9:30. We've got This Day in History coming up around 9:15. So we've got quite a lot of things to get to. But first, I just want to shout out Wheezy. I just heard from her a few minutes ago. She said, "Good morning. Glad the cooler temps I sent your way have made it." See, she's been up in Michigan all summer long. She says, "We've had absolutely perfect days for about a week now." Well, I'm so glad you have. And we are really enjoying these cooler temperatures down here. So thank you, Wheezy, for sending them our way. I hope you're having a great day. Hope that garden is doing well. And I want to play a song for you. I know you like it. So Kaleidoscope Jesus by Lauren Daigle right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM. making your day better. When's the last time you actually grabbed a kaleidoscope and looked through it and twisted it around? It's so cool, isn't it? Oh, I posted something like that on the family group.
You go out of your way to make me feel like I'm the one you love.
I want to shout out Ashburn, Virginia right now because I see you listening on the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Just whenever I see a new pin pop up, I got to shout them out. So, hey, this is an invitation to everybody. I would love to hear from you. Seriously, because, I can see that some people are listening on the streaming map because a pin shows up. But as far as FM broadcast or even over on podcast, I don't know who's listening there. So I would love to hear from each and every one of you, no matter how you're listening, because it's good to know you're there. We're in this thing together. So let me know your name, where you're listening from, and maybe your favorite song so I can play it for you like I'm about to do for one of our listeners right now. Mr. Richard Udi said he would like to hear Old Church Choir by Zach Williams. Well, sir, I'd like to play it for you. So here you go.
There's revival, and it's spreading like a wildfire in my heart.
Where there's one Udi, the other one's not far behind. Because Jimmy Lee Udi wants to hear a song by Ann Wilson. It's called Strong. And you can hear your song too if you want to text me. 256-967-0885 is the number to text. Again, 256-967-0885. Mr. Jimmy Lee Udi, this one's for you. Hope you enjoy it.
Strong, try to make them all think I'm strong. Yeah, the face I keep putting on says I ain't tired, but these tear-stained eyes ain't lying.
Are you ready for a back-to-school bash? Well, it's going to be happening at Tessa up in Arab this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. They'll have bouncy houses, games, gospel illusions, food, maybe even a little kids' music, and it's right there in Arab at 242 South Main Street. The back-to-school bash happening this Saturday from 10 to 2 at Tessa in Arab. Hey, coming up, we're going to be breaking down this Brandon Lake song, That's Who I Praise, with a little help from Danielle on day 5 of the breakdown after this.
I'm the child of a loving father. I'm a part of the family.
So if you want to break a song down into two things, you have the music and you have the lyrics. Now, I can sit down and break down the music like all day long. I went to school for music, so I understand the theory, how the chords are created, how the harmonies go together with the melody, how it's structured, but that kind of stuff is kind of boring. So let's go over here to the lyric side of things. Yeah, let's talk about that. That's what I must have thought of when I was in college because I was on the instrumental side of the music building and my now wife was on the vocal side. So I enjoyed the lyrics too. So let's talk about these lyrics on the Brandon Lake song, That's Who I Praise. Danielle has been helping us with this, kind of breaking down these lyrics phrase by phrase and digging deep into the Bible to find the inspiration for them. And this is day 5. She's got some stuff to share with you, and I think it's absolutely awesome. I hope you enjoy it.
Today is day 5, walking through Brandon Lake's viral song, This Is Who I Praise. And we've covered the first couple lines in the last couple of videos. So I want to dance like David, I want to faith like Paul, I want to sing like Silas, tearing down the prison walls. Yesterday we talked about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And today we're talking about Moses. And the lyrics talk about parting the sea. And what an act of faith. What an act of faith to be leading the people that God told you to, and you're stuck between this huge body of water and there's no way to cross it, and there's an army behind you chasing you, and you have no idea what do we do? We can't turn around because the army is there. We can't go forward because there's water there, and God provides a way like he always does. And I know that we could look at Moses' story and we could extrapolate so much about Moses because a lot of times he did operate in faith. But I think that the parting of the Red Sea specifically shows that God makes a way when there is no way. God has a plan when you can't see it. Moses looked at the Red Sea and didn't think, oh, God's gonna part this. Can you imagine what he was thinking? Probably was like, what the heck? You led me and these people out here, and now we're just gonna die. We're gonna be attacked, we're gonna be killed, we're gonna be slaughtered. God's like, here's the way. I already provided it. He already gave it to him. It was his staff. His staff parted the sea. God had already given him the tools that he needed to get through this major obstacle. God is a provider. He has already thought all the steps through. He already knows what's going to happen. And so we don't have to operate in fear or doubt or worry or anything else. We don't have to put our faith in anything else except Christ, who strengthens us, who upholds us, who walks through everything. And this videos might seem a little redundant because the message, a lot of it is the same. We are called to have a faith in a God who is big, who is majestic, who is a creator, who plans all things out for his good, for his glory, and we have to trust. We are called to obey and to walk through the plans that he has placed in front of us, even when we can't see it. We don't see the dry ground, we just see the ocean. God's like, I'm just gonna part it. I'm gonna make a way when there is no way. And so we see so much of God in Moses' story, but Moses' story is really good, and you should definitely go read it. Come back tomorrow. We have a couple more lyrics to go through, and I'm loving this series. I hope you are too. Let me know what you think.
That's Danielle, and the way that you can find her over on the socials is just by typing in This Sun-Kissed Life. That's right, This S-O-N Kissed Life. I found her over on TikTok, and I would encourage you to do the same because she's just awesome. And hey, I think it's important for us now to hear the song she's been talking about. So it's Brandon Lake, That's Who I Praise, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Again, you can find her at This Sun-Kissed Life over on TikTok.
I want to dance like David. I want a faith like Paul. I want to sing like Silas, tearing down the prison wall.
Brandon Lake, That's Who I Praise, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I think it only fitting that we play another Brandon Lake song. Now, he just happens to be joined by Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music. And this song, by request, it's Talking to Jesus. I hope you enjoy it.
Grandma used to pray out loud by your bed every night. To me it sounded like mumbling, like she was out of her mind. She said, boy, this kind of praying is what saved my life. You ought to try it sometime. And now I know she was right. She was talking to Jesus. She was talking to Jesus. And she'd been talking to Jesus for all of her life.
The story of Samson is a well-known story, but there's a verse in that entire story where Samson killed 1,000 Philistines. That statement changed my life, and it's about generations. It says that when Samson was out in the desert one day, 1,000 soldiers came up against him to kill him. Samson had no weapons or nothing. And then Samson saw in the sand a dry jawbone of a donkey.
Yeah.
Samson went over, picked up the jawbone, he shook off the sand, took a deep breath, and he moved toward the 1,000 soldiers. And Samson began to work. And every time he swung, someone fell. There was blood everywhere, I'm sure. And that white jawbone of a donkey turned soaked red. And the Bible says that when Samson was finished, there was 1,000 soldiers dead on the desert sand. He was the only one standing, breathing. But that's not the part that changed my life. What changed my life, it says that afterwards, now don't forget this statement, very important statement. It says, then Samson threw away the jawbone. Now that's an important statement, because anytime something worked, we like to keep it.
Come on. Come on.
You know, if Samson had used the jawbone in 2006, 2005, in our generation, when something works, what we do with it, the first thing we do is we patent it.
Oh, man.
And then after we patent it, we begin to merchandise it, manufacture it, and we begin to trade it. In other words, we begin to sell it. And could you imagine Samson calling it Samsonite? the weapon.
Yeah.
And he could have sold this jawbone as a military weapon that worked. It actually worked. It killed 1,000 men. So he could have actually said on the package, killed 1,000 Philistines. And he could have traded it. Everybody say trade.
Trade.
Say it again, trade.
Trade.
See, whenever you take something and you package it and you trade it, it is called trade addition. A tradition is something that worked, it was good, it was effective, but when you finish with it, you gotta throw it away. I believe what happens is sometimes one generation that experienced a certain anointing of God try to trade it to the next generation.
Come on.
But they forget that the anointing was not in the jawbone, it was on the jawbone. And when the anointing leaves the jawbone, you gotta throw the jawbone away. God's gonna use some things in our generation that he didn't use in our parents' generation. And we gotta remember to tell our parents we gotta throw some things away, not because it was bad, but the anointing has left it. Don't ever get caught with what God used to use.
Come on.
Miles Monroe, who you just heard from. Wow, that's deep, isn't it? Here's Cody Carnes. Take you at your word.
Your word is a lamp unto my feet.
Quite a lot happened over the weekend throughout history, and we're going to catch up on all of it next. We're going to have some fun with it too, so I hope you'll stick around. Here's Tasha Layton with Chris Brown and Worship Through It right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
This looks impossible, but you're the God of impossible.
Good morning and welcome to this day in history, a chance for us to look back on yesteryear at the milestones that have been achieved and celebrate the movers and the shakers who got us this far. Now, because it is a Monday, that means we got to catch up on the weekend, and I'm so glad we get to because quite a lot of stuff happened. So back on Saturday, in 1498, King Henry VII of England rewards John Cabot for the discovery of Canada. Now, how much do you think he paid John Cabot? Because, after all, this was more than a month's journey with a crew of 18 on a ship into new territory. He paid him £10, that's right, $15.75. Wow, it's crazy Brits. And then on Saturday in 1519, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan's 5 ships set sail to circumnavigate the Earth. On the same day in 1990, the U.S. Magellan spacecraft landed on Venus. Ooh. On Saturday in 1776, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and John Adams suggest the adoption of E pluribus unum, out of many, one, as the motto for the Great Seal of the United States. Seems pretty fitting, right? And did you know on Saturday, all the way back in 1960, Antonio Banderas was born, the Spanish actor, you know, The Mask of Zorro, one of my favorite movies, or your kids probably know him as Puss in Boots. That's him. And then on Sunday, in 1587, English explorer Sir Walter Raleigh lands in North Carolina on his second expedition to the New World. Ooh, Raleigh. That sounds familiar. Oh, Raleigh, North Carolina. I get it now. And then, on Sunday in 1866, Newport, Rhode Island becomes home to the world's first roller skating rink. Ooh, you know what? We actually went roller skating on Saturday. Yeah, from 7 till about 9:30 or so over at Sports World Skate Center in Vinemont. And we had a blast. Just letting you know what's out there. I still enjoy skating. I used to love that when I was a kid. And my little girl is enjoying it now, too. On Sunday in 1906, Eugene Augustin Laust of Paris patents the first talking motion picture, finally putting the music, the talking with the video, and now we have the movies, and that's where it came from. And on Sunday in 1909, finding itself in trouble off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, the U.S. ocean liner Arapahoe is the first to use the distress call SOS. Yep, SOS for help. Also, an amazing recipe. My daughter loves SOS, by the way. If you don't know what it is, ask me, I'll tell you. Or ask your grandma. She knows. On Sunday in 1972, the last U.S. ground combat unit in South Vietnam, the 3rd Battalion, 21st Infantry, departs for the United States. The unit had been guarding the U.S. Air Base at Da Nang during the Vietnam War, so finally out of Vietnam. And then on this day in 1658, the first police force in the United States was established in New Amsterdam, which is now New York. On this day in 1851 in New York City, Isaac Singer patents the revolutionary double treadle sewing machine. Yeah. On this day in 1865, English surgeon Joseph Lister is the first to use disinfectant during an operation, and a mouthwash brand, Listerine, was named after him. Did you know that? Pretty cool, right? On this day in 1877, American inventor Thomas A. Edison reputedly finishes his first phonograph, which utilizes a tinfoil wrapped cylinder. The first sound recording was Mary Had a Little Lamb. On this day in 1908, Henry Ford's first Model T, affectionately known as the Tin Lizzie, rolls off the assembly line in Detroit, Michigan. The Model T revolutionized the automotive industry by providing an affordable, reliable car for the average American. And then on this day in 1992, the United States, Mexico, and Canada agreed to form a free trade zone, later known as the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. It became the world's largest single trading bloc. And finally, on this day in 1881, Cecil B. DeMille, the American pioneer film producer, you know, the guy who produced The 10 Commandments. Yep, he was born. So there you go. That is this day in history. Rather lengthy, I know, but we had a lot to get to. So now I get to close the book and remind you of something. So let's close the book. And now I want to remind you that I believe you're making history right now. You might not even know it. And though it might not be written in a history book like I just read out of, it will definitely be written on the hearts of those you impact. So be aware of that what you do matters, that you are valued, that you are seen, you are heard, and that you are loved. Now, let's go make history together. Here's Jimmy Needham with Forgiven and Loved right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
Tell me I'm forgiven and loved.
It's time for us to hear from Mr. Brian Trent. Have you heard of this guy before? Well, if you've been listening for a while, you know this is about the time we usually play his content, right? He's from Hampton, South Carolina, and he pastors the Lighthouse Church. He and his family are amazing, always posting just amazing content as well, all across the socials. So if you want to find them for yourself, all you have to do is type in Trent Tribe. Again, that's Trent Tribe. And yeah, you can find him there. You might even want to follow him, like I've been doing for a while now. Over a year, actually. But hey, what does he have for us today? Well, a little life experience and a little bit of Bible all mixed together. He's got such a cool way of relating this to us. So here, take a listen to what Brian has for you today.
Does God ever get tired of you? When I was younger, I worked at a grocery store, Food Line to be exact, and I had went over 18 months or more without a raise. So I was aggravated about it, and I would complain to all my coworkers about how I hadn't had a raise. And we had these supervisors that were kind of regional, and they were kind of responsible for our raises, and one day ours was in the store. And I said, today is the day. This ends today. So I went over there to Mr. Cantrell, and I said, Mr. Cantrell, it's been over 18 months since I had a raise, and I feel like that I am due a raise. And he said, okay. And I said, okay, that's it? He said, yeah, that's it. You can have a raise. Just like that? He said, yeah, I was worried about you because you never asked for one. I've complained, I've been mad, I've been frustrated, and all this time because I didn't ask. What a ding-dong. James 4:2 says you have not because you ask not. It's the don't be a ding-dong scripture. And you might have read Matthew 7:7. It says, ask and you'll be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. But this is where it gets really good. Because that translation actually puts it like you just need to ask once, seek once, knock once. But that's not how the original Greek text puts it. The verb ask, seek, and knock are in the present tense. So in other words, it's asking, seeking, knocking. That means I keep asking, I keep seeking, I keep knocking. Because even in our asking, God does a work in us. A work that usually leads to greater things than we are asking for. So does God get tired of you? Well, God just told you to keep asking, seeking, and knocking. God could never get tired of you. And don't be a ding-dong like me. Keep asking.
That's good stuff. Again, that's Brian Trent. You can find him by typing in Trent Tribe wherever you do your socials. All right, more great music headed your way. Rachel Lampa, High Hopes. I got a request coming up next. It's Torrin Wells and Take It All Back. So we'll get to that coming up shortly.
This ain't the road I would have chosen. Driving with headlights that can't cut through the rain.
Okay, so all the Oodies are represented this morning. Why do I say that? Well, because, you see, the cousins, they usually get on requesting songs, right? So one after the other, usually is how it works. And that happened this morning. But I also heard from Jimmy Lee Oodie's wife, Liz. And you see, Liz actually sent me a picture of the three of them with their little girl, Mary Elizabeth. Yeah, and they look like such the happy family. Yeah, it's awesome to see them. And see that little girl grow up. It's just amazing. I'm watching her through the socials. It's so cool. And then you see Richard and his wife, Kim, have reached out this morning. Kim wants to hear a particular song. It's Torrin Wells and Take It All Back. And that's the number one song in the nation right now, by the way. I'm about to hit that for her, but I also wanted to shout out their two sons, Jeremiah and Nehemiah. So I just hope the family's doing great. I always love hearing from the Oodies, and I just wanted to share a little love with them this morning. And hey, I'd love to share some love with you as well. If you want to text me, ask me to play a song, I'd shout you out too. 256-967-0885 is the number to text, and let me know your name, where you're listening from, and your favorite song. Again, 256-967-0885. Now, Torrin Wells, Take It All Back, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
Fears got me living with the lights out, chained down like a prisoner in my own house. Shame cycles like a deadly medication. I try, but I can't change my situation.
Just heard from the Right Reverend Larry Wall. Said he's been listening this morning since even before 6 o'clock. Thank you, Pastor Larry, for being here. I'm so glad you are. And he asked me, he said, did you ever get up on the board yesterday? He follows us over on Facebook. You see, we went and got out on the lake yesterday, and we have this new wakeboard. And this is like a foreign concept to me. I've never actually skied on the water before. Now, tubes, yeah, I'm fine with that. Sling me on a tube behind a boat, try to knock me off. Usually you won't knock me off. But anyway, that's fine and good. But this, a wakeboard, it's a little weird. So first off, I got size 14/15 feet. And fitting them feet into those boots was kind of rough, but was able to do it with a little help. Finally got my feet slipped in there. And I got the rope, and I was waiting, told them when to go. They had the slack pulled and everything, and I tried all the technique. I tried squatting there on the board, kind of, as you're laying on your back in the water, and holding my arms out straight, and the boat took off, and I couldn't do it. I could not get up on that board. I'll just have to keep losing some more weight, I guess. But my little girl, Grace, she's got her own wakeboard, and she had no problem getting up on her board the first try yesterday. That's not fair at all. Yeah. But we did have a new tube to try out. It's called the Chaos, and it was quite chaotic because, you see, the last tube that we had was called the Big Mabel. That Big Mabel was a lot of fun. Sadly, somebody decided to steal it out of the boat, so we no longer have it. It's no longer with us, but we were able to get a different one. This Chaos is a lot of fun, though. You have to lay down on it. The other one, you kind of got to sit back. It had a backrest on it and just kind of, ride around. This one, you lay on your belly and you hang on for dear life. That's what I'm used to. It was a lot of fun. So, hey, we're trying to make some memories and really enjoy this nice weather we're having. I hope you're doing the same. Hey, thanks for being here. And yes, I'll keep trying on that wakeboard, but I felt pretty accomplished this weekend. We did go skating, and yes, I did get out there on the floor, and no, I did not kill anybody. I didn't even fall. How cool is that? Yeah, took a lot of confidence. Oh, I looked down at my heart rate, and it was pumping. Yeah, it was pumping way too fast because I think I was just nervous. It gets up around, 148. That's pumping pretty good. Here's Matthew West. Don't stop praying.
What's your impossible? I need a miracle.
Well, the time has come for me to bid you adieu, but before I do, I'd like to share with you an inspiring quote. In fact, some might say it's the most inspiring quote of the day. It's from Arthur Schopenhauer, who said, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." Whoa, that tells me it's important to be thinking outside the box, right? So when I was thinking through this, I thought of technology. You know how far we've come with technology just in the past, 30, 40, 50 years? It's crazy, right? At one time, a computer took up a whole room. Now, you have a computer in the smartphone in your pocket. It's crazy, right? Remember the big floppy disks? And then the little floppy disks? And then the CDs? And the DVDs? Blu-ray's still around, I know, but somebody got to thinking, hey, there's something about storage. We need to figure out a way to store things. And so they kept coming up with new ideas, sure, but now they're like, hey, we don't need any of that anymore. Let's just put it all in the cloud. So they have it figured out. Always innovating. How can you innovate in your life today? What kind of problems are you facing right now? Well, maybe look behind the scenes of the problem. See where the problem's stemming from, but see maybe if there's a better solution than even dealing with the problem. If there's a way to go around the problem, to get something new, to feel a new victory, be successful creating something new. I believe we have that inside of us because God created and we are made in His image. So I think we are made to create as well. So when's the last time you let your creativity work a little bit? Maybe it's time to exercise it. Maybe it's time to find that target that nobody else knows even exists and hit it right in the bullseye. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope you'll think about this throughout the day and challenge yourself to find that solution to the problem maybe you haven't even seen yet. Think about what's happening behind the scenes. It'll make your day better. It really will. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, you can catch today's show in podcast form over on our, Spotify and over on Apple Podcasts. I post it there at 10:30 every morning, and I hope you'll go and enjoy that. Maybe you heard something this morning, you're like, hey, I really need to share that with somebody else. Well, you can totally do that. Just type in Lifeline Morning Show podcast over on Spotify or on Apple Podcast after 10:30 this morning, and you'll be able to find it right there. Or maybe your kid called in and won some gift cards. Yeah, during the car line competition, but they didn't get to hear themselves on the radio because they had to go into school. I understand, it happens. But I recorded that, and it'll be on the podcast at 10:30 this morning. So just remember, we've got many ways for you to stay in touch and to share and to help other people have a better day. We hope you'll do that because that's our slogan around here, making your day better. And we're just about to celebrate 29 years of doing that. It's a pretty big deal. I'm so happy to be a part of it. But guess what? You're a part of it too because you're here. You're listening. So thank you so much. I'll see you back here tomorrow.